Колеги, ми продовжуємо.
We are going to continue working then. The topic of the next press briefing, the results of the blood drive, drop of blood for the wounded ATO soldiers. We invite here in Svyatoslav Janko and Larysa Bezuhlova, the Charity Foundation volunteer assistance. You have the floor. Thank you. Good afternoon. I would like to announce the drive or the action for tomorrow, 21st of July, which will take place in the Burns Center, Popudrinka 36th Street. This is becoming the standing action. My name is Svyatoslav, the co-founder member of the board of the Charity Foundation Volunteer Assistance. I would like to ask all those indifferent persons who has the problems in the house to come join us from 9 o'clock till 12 a.m. To come to the street of Popudrinka, the Burns Center. I would like to say that the Burns Center already provided the assistance to almost 30 ATO soldiers who had some burns and those who suffered from the explosion near Kyiv. And today also the ATO guys are undergoing treatment in the burn center in Kyiv. That's why we always need blood. And I would like to remind you that the blood can be conserved and kept in the processed state for 45 days, but we can use it no longer than 35 days. And plasma can be kept for several years in the frozen state and then used for the needs of, and I address mostly the youth, though they have the vacations today from the universities, and those who are off age now, who have more than 80 years, who have no counterindications like hepatitis or AIDS, of course, and whose health allows them to give their blood and please join our action, the drop of save action. So we have the Facebook where you'll find our phones, which you can call us, and we are going to help us organize your transfer by the vehicles, or maybe we'll meet you near the metro station and then accompany you to the blood center. Also, I would like to remind you that in Ukraine the blood donors is not a very popular action. That's why we would like to address the TV channels and the radio broadcasting companies who can actually join us in disseminating information about the blood donors. And this is not only very honorable and respected action, it's very useful to the people. Those who give their blood can actually save somebody else's lives. And we would like to have such a situation when the blood transfusion or giving their bloods can become a kind of the addressed one. We are going to have on our side the information who specifically will use the donor blood. And we are going to follow this process, and we are going to inform those people who give their bloods how their blood brothers, so to say, were saved, and how their blood helped specific adult or children. We are not talking only about the ATO soldiers. We try to help the children to the, let's say, the cancer center. Anybody who addresses us, we try to make use of the blood donors base, and we are going to respond quickly to the needs either to the Burns Center or the military hospital, and help anybody who needs badly today this blood. I already mentioned before that up to this date in Ukraine we have not established or haven't created the blood bank And so far we cannot find the reasons why they did not do that before. So anybody who has a knowledge or would like to create this blood bank, we are prepared to help out to those as well. Also would like to thank those people who supported our action, our drive. The company called the ATO, which is actually our partner, and also to the Ukrainian Crisis Media Center, owing to which we can address the people and spread or extend our action together could help the people who need this blood. Thank you in advance if anybody is going to join us tomorrow, and together with us let's help the ATO soldiers. Thank you.
Head of the board of our fund. I have responsible for reports. I always say that any activity of any fund should rely on transparency, clearness, and it should be laconic. Why? Because when someone knows where he sends money and how that money is used, what is done, and it's easier to take activity of any fund. Maybe I'll repeat, but I would like to mention that the goal was to collect blood for ATO soldiers who are in the hospitals. Okay, we all know that in Ukraine, in medical institutions and in military hospitals and blood, they have blood, but reserve blood, but it should be updated or renewed. That's why every citizen in Ukraine who can, so they can participate in this campaign, and not only with money, but also providing blood for the bank of that hospitals. We started this activity. We involved active students community and also big corporations. And we had this event in June. Our first action was in June. On the 15th of June, that was the first day of this, we were in Kyiv Male Academy. And as you know, we are very thankful to mass media who that broadcasted on the first day. Then the next day was in Kyiv, and the third day was in Drahmanov University, and we went to the center, care center. How? And that was done by the main clinical hospital, military hospitals, and those universities in Kyiv. And the stational blood taken was in the care center. In such a way, donors' blood was provided to 80 soldiers who were in the hospitals of Kyiv. So, without mediators, the blood went directly. Logistics side of this activity. The main military clinical hospital through Kyiv Male Academy on the first day, on June 15, there were 22 students who became donors, and then on the 16th of June, the main clinical hospitals, and they were outside, and in Kyiv after Hetman, and 23 people gave blood. In Care Center Institute in the 17th, there were 15 students became donors. On that, at that time, we covered the weekly need demand for blood for Care Center and for the hospital. Results. This is the most important moment for me, because when you have results and you understand who receives that assistance, and we have agreement and with hospitals and care center, and when doctors told you that our soldiers received that blood, and we are thankful. So we collected 10 liters on the 15th, and then on the in Hetman we collected 10 liters of blood, and on the 17th 7 liters, and it went to the care center. Every activity is based on common things, on the budget, for example. And when we go to sponsors, we say open what we need. show our data, and we say that about such a notion as nourishment of the donor. We have to prepare them for them not to lose consciousness, and we need to support that. So we need the budget for food, and the budget, as you see it on the screen, it's 4 months. So that's 4 activities. We have every week one event, and that is that budget which we need for a month. For food, 6,000 for medical 24,000. What is medical budget? What have we included? You know, there must be always checking. We need to diagnose. We need to have express a test of donors, and we had a problem that in some institutions, even when they take blood, they just don't have those express tests, and they don't have tenders, and because of our sponsors, we procured those express tests, and every donor who comes to give blood for themselves, they have a chance to check for 3 multi-infections, like hepatitis A, B, HIV, and syphilis. So people should know whether they're sick or not. They will understand whether they can become donors or not. And every donor who comes to us, they come with their passport. And we speak about that. We tell them not to forget. And we tell them that they will fill forms, and a doctor will diagnose them. Because some people, first of all, the donors should be older than 18, up to 52 years old, so they can give blood. The number of diseases when they cannot become donors, unfortunately. But we say that a donor, it's an honor. To be a donor, it's an honor. And if you remember, it was honor in the Soviet Union, but the Soviet Union, that is in the past, but there is issues of today and future. If we don't help those people who need that, unfortunately, our future could change, not for the better. And one more pleasant thing, how we were supported by mass media, and we were impressed that really they made different TV channels video recorded, and Express TV, 1+1, Channel 5, many channels. I will not give the whole list of them, and we had 50. They showed us 55 times all the references on our Facebook page. And also I'd like to thank, if you see on the screen, there is such a picture with 2 bracelets. I have one bracelet here, and that was produced Larysa company. They presented these bracelets, and it says, "Give blood, save soldiers." We give these bracelets to those whom involve people to donorship, and donors received bracelets, and which says, "I'm a drop of for saving." So donors become saviors of someone else. Our action, charity action, somebody can say, okay, they give blood. So what? 1, 2, 3 times. But we need to change attitude to donorship. And there should be prospects for development. So first prospect, as we mentioned, to make this non-stop action, because there is a demand for blood. It can grow, it can reduce. There could be different events, and but these events in the east, and there is a big number of wounded, sometimes less, but there should be blood in hospitals all the time. The second prospect, and we hope that will have a national format. What does it mean? We suggest to our colleagues, those who hear us, corporations who are interested in our scientists, who are interested in our activity, call us connect with us, and we can make that, we can hold that action in your city, especially in those cities where we have military hospitals: Odessa, Kharkiv, Zaporizhia, Dnipropetrovsk, and Kyiv. Prospects of development of the project in general, there are. And soon, I hope that because we involve mass media and we attract attention to donorship, we can hold a round table and we can invite to develop common decisions and how to improve the system of logistics, and we can invite people from donor society, representatives of the parliament, and lawyers and media. The second prospect, and we can change legislation as a result of roundtable to prepare changes to the legislation and to prepare draft law on centralized bank of blood. The third prospect is one of the main: creation of a general database of donors and open electronic database of donors with updated information. This is what they have in Europe. This is what progressive societies have in many countries of the world. For there is no need, a problem, if something happens in a family, to go to that bank database and see. If you need second group and negative registry, people know where, how it is preserved, and age, etc., etc. The most pleasant is to thank those people who supported us. Thank you. Our Ukrainian Crisis Media Center, thank you very much. Your partners, we can. It's great and grateful. And our Kyiv Clinical Hospital, and 3 universities supported us: Kyiv Academy, KNEO, and Institute after Drahomanov. Also, feeding was provided by Mega Market, and we are very thankful for that. As I told, Lentechka company, Polographic R&P, and designer Yura Pashinska. So I invite all to become partners of our activity. Very simple name, a drop of saving. Come to our website if you want to get registered for tomorrow or to support our action in the care center, Putin 36, and that's the address. Call our direct mobile phones 096 588 593 94 Larysa, and 063 570 2001. If there is any issue, any question, please call these numbers. Find our webpage, volunteers assistance in Facebook. We'll be thankful for your support. Thank you. Don't run away. Maybe someone has a question. Maybe you 3. No, if not. Oh, yeah, there is. Once again, thank you very much for your work. For the work you do for our soldiers, and I would like to wish you all the best health and energy. The question: do you have contacts with Western funds and that could help? Maybe you need some assistance, and whom would you like to appeal with that? Thank you. 3. We need assistance. You know, for the first event, that was the assistance of the above that we collected what we needed to produce polygraphy, to prepare a banner, to buy tests. food was presented, but if we plan this non-stop action, then without grounds, without investors, we will not be able to do that. So everyone who cares about this issue, please connect with us. And we wanted to ask someone to help us. We wanted to speak to Renaissance Foundation. Maybe they will be interested. If you know any fund that would, for which such cooperation would be pleasant on donorship, we will be just happy for that. Thank you very much, Svyatoslav, Larysa, and good luck, and see you in the future.